Every child has the potential to create something extraordinary. Think about the creative mind who imagined and built websites we use today and brought those ideas to life through technology. At Juritech, we turn curiosity into skills and idea into possibility. So now, let's explore web development and see what you can create. But first, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Now, let's learn together.
Alright, welcome to today's class. Hope you're all having a good day. So today we'll be talking about lists, links, and images on HTML. So I want to go about something differently. So last class, when we were writing out the structure, so structure is that doc type, etc, your head, your title, your whatever. So when it comes to VS Code, as you see that usually VS Code tries to make things easy for us. Once you hold Shift 1 and press enter, you see that you have the whole structure written out for you already. So you can just come and just name this title class 2 because this is our second class. I just name it class 2, then make it split screen. Okay, so class 2. Now let's get to adding lists, links, and images. So we are going to be talking about lists first. So we have three types of lists. We have ordered, unordered, and descriptive lists. So we'll be talking majorly about the ordered and unordered one for today's class. Then later we'll talk about the description list. So let's get into ordered and unordered lists. So ordered lists are lists that needs to be in a particular order, where your order is important. That's what we call ordered list. Say for example, you want to have your list in a 1, 2, 3 manner. So let's get into that. To write code for ordered list is OL. You write your OL tag. So inside your OL, you are going to have your LI. So LI means list items. So the list items, what do you want to have inside this ordered list? Let's see, apple, LI again, orange, then one more, banana. Let's just add an head in here, maybe like a H1 that says RITS. So basically fruits, apples, orange, and banana. That's for an ordered list. So I remember I told you ordered list is when your order is important. Say for example, you are writing an attendance that is based on people's name. So you have to follow an alphabetical order. You have to have it in a ordered way, that is 1, 2, 3, or ABC, or your Roman figure 1, 2, 3. So that's how ordered lists work. You can actually change this 1, 2, 3 to different types of, maybe ABC or Roman figure. So we get into that with CSS. When we get to CSS, you can change it easily. CSS. So that's for ordered list. Then we have unordered list. That's UL, unordered list. So inside your unordered list, you have your before each one. That's it. Fruits also. So inside this fruits list item, we have apple, we have orange, and we have banana. Okay, so this is how you can add. So remember, I told you for two, that's ordered and unordered list. Ordered list, the order is important, while unordered list, the order is not important. So that's the difference between both. Alright, so after this, we are going to talk about links and adding images also. So let's quickly get into adding links. Alright, so we are going to learn how to add links to our website. I know you on multiple sites, when you've gone there, see on sites you have links to go to other web pages, links to go to other pages on that web page, or links to, say for example, you want to buy a sneakers online. When you see the picture, you see a link to, maybe you are browsing on Jumia, I see a link to add to your cart. So links is just moving from a particular page to other pages. So I'm going to add a link here inside my body tag. Let me just quickly add a paragraph. So inside my paragraph, there's a text generative URL. So you can use this one to just generate a quick text. So let's say after this, I'll say click here, click here, full stop. So I just want to make this my link, this particular click here text. So you see when I click on it, nothing is happening, right? So to add links, you use your anchor tag, that's A. So your A tags. Now remember to copy this closing tag, then go and put it at the right place you're supposed to put it. So where do you want the link to end? After this text that says click here, let's paste it there. Let me see it. I think I can remove this full stop. Let me just remove this full stop for now. So what this href means is where you what's the place you want this link to take you to. Anytime you click on this link, where do you want it to take you to? That's basically what this href is for. So if you say we want it to take us to google.com. Anytime I click on this link, it's going to take me to google.com, but it cannot get because my network is not on at the moment. So that's why it's not going. So that's basically how to add links by adding your A tag. A, then you define where you want it to take you to. Anytime you click on it, you define it with your href attribute. So this is what we call an attribute. This href you added. So attributes are used to add additional information about a tag. So you are going to see me add attributes to other tags. So we get into, but just know that anytime you see a tag opened, let me just give you another example. Say my paragraph, this is my p tag. I can come inside the first opening tag and define an attribute. I can give it a class. I can give it, attributes are just to add additional information about your tags. That's what it is for. So anytime you see me do something like that, just know I'm adding an attribute. So and there are additional information about a particular tag. They come here, see that this attribute href is to add where you want the link to go anytime you click on it. So that's what that is for. Let me see. I want to show you another type of attribute. Okay, see this one here, this HTML. Did you notice that we also added an attribute here? Although we generated it, but if you notice there was an attribute added to it, that's this lang. That's, you are saying this HTML file document you are writing is going to be written in English. That's what this lang en means, English. So that's the attribute, an additional attribute of the type of language you want to use to write your code. So that's what attributes are for, to add additional information about a tag. Okay, lastly, we are going to be talking about how to add images on HTML. So for this, I'm going to actually have to go back and do a little more explanation with our file manager. So let's say we have this document, right? So inside document, let's create a file actually for this class. We are going to be using for our class now. So web dev summer class. So we want to be having any file we use in class, we are going to be having it in this folder. So web dev summer class. Let me go and open this folder on VS or on VS Code. So file, open folder, web dev summer, yeah. Alright, I just opened this folder and you notice that there's nothing here. That means it's empty, there's no file there. There's no readable file for VS Code. It's not seeing any HTML files, CSS files, JavaScript files, images or videos. So to add images on HTML, you actually have to put it in the same folder your index.html. If you notice, I added a docx, so you can have multiple files with the same name. So that's why I added the additional x. Let me just generate the structure. Sorry. Okay, fine. So you can work on it now. So inside, when you want to add images, you need to put it in the same folder you have your code. As you can see now, inside this web dev class, I already have an index.html file, an HTML file. So now I want to add an image. So let me come to pictures. Let me try to find an image. Let's use this. Yeah. Let me copy this. Then go back to documents, web dev. Then let me paste that image here. So we have zindex.png. So as you can see here, it's showing now that this image is here. Now we can add this image. Or actually, let me go about this the other way so that you understand fully. So let's say we now want to, because in most cases when you are working on a file, you would not really put your images in the same folder your HTML file is, because you might have a lot of images. Imagine like a browser, like what you call it, like I'm trying to look for browsers, Pinterest. Imagine Pinterest where you have loads of images and you want to add like loads of images. You might just have it in a different folder. So let's create another folder. IMGS images. So any image you want to use for our, we'll be putting our HTML and CSS file inside the web dev class, but the images are going to be inside this folder named images. So as you can see, we have the folder now. It's not showing the file directly, it's showing a folder, and you need to notice that. So img tags is what we use to define images. So img, then you have your src. So as you can see here, this is coming before the end of the first tag, so this, both of these are attributes. So src means your source file. Sorry, what's the name of your file from the source? Then this alt means alternative. So it's basically just like when your browser, maybe your network is slow or something is wrong with your code, when your browser can't load this image, is there any text you want to be added, so that anytime the browser doesn't load that particular picture, it will bring that text to kind of like describe what was supposed to be there. Imagine your network is not loading fast and you just have a descriptive text, or this is a picture of this, something like that. So just define that. That's why we add the alternative attributes. So remember, attributes are used to add additional information about a tag. Okay, so now let's work on the src. So before I told you you have to keep, your images in the same folder to just define the images. So what was the name of the image again? I think it's Z index. See, when we type Z index dot png, because I think that's the name of the image, or am I correct? zindex.png. Let's see the output on our browser. I should just play the screen. Yeah. So you see that on my browser there's nothing still showing. It's not bringing anything. Let me write an alternative text there. This is a peak of Z in showing Z index. This is a picture Z index. So when your picture doesn't load, just like this instance, maybe there's an error. In our own case, there's an error because we don't have the picture and the HTML file in the same folder. The pictures are in another folder named images. So to get, if you have it in another folder inside your folder, you are going to say, what's the name of the folder? imgs slash. So once you add the slash, it's going to check everything inside that folder. So you are saying imgs slash. That means to check everything inside. Then okay, you see that it's already bringing it there because it's only one picture, so it's already bringing the Z index. The Z index. So we have this whole picture that we just added. So we have the picture now, and you can also add height and width attributes to make it, because it's too big. height. So let's say the height 200 pixels. Yeah. You can also define the width. Width is 200 pixels. Alright, so can you see? Alright, so that's how we can add images. Then add attributes. SRC is to define the path. What is the name of the image? Where it is stored. So if it's stored in a different folder, write the name of the folder. Then you have your slash. That slash is to open that folder to get the files inside. Then you write the name of the file. Usually it's going to bring the name of the file. Just look out for it. If it's not bringing it out, that means there's a mistake somewhere. So height, width, then your alternative alt to describe. You see that when our picture is loading now, the alternative text is not coming up. This is a picture in Z index, is not coming up. That's because the image is working. Say for example, let's try to delete something from this image now. So you see that it's back. So that's basically the idea behind your alternative text. And so that will be all for today's class. Thank you for your time.
Subscribe and share this video.